We've been waiting forever for this. We're from Bowling Green, Kentucky. And you don't know what it means. We bleed blue.
Welcome to the Red and Very Blue Review. We are celebrating Kentucky's 8th national championship. Even Howie is going to get in on the act as we, as an entire state, celebrate the fact that the very best college basketball in all of North America is played right here in this part of the world. I'm Gary Gupton, along with the guys. Say hello to Daryl Bird of the Cat's Paws, who has been working feverishly. You will not stop, Daryl, working on Final Four and national championship stuff until football starts.
I won't stop until the next Final Four next year. How about that one? The fan was funny. Waiting forever, it felt like forever. It was 14 years, but more importantly to me, it was 3 years after Calipari's first Big Blue Madness. And it was one of those striking moments where he said that the mission is to return Kentucky basketball to the rightful place atop the mountain of college basketball. And that just rang. At the time, I was like, wow. And I talked to Mitch Barnhart later. At the time, he's like, okay. 3 years later? No way, but here they are.
Say hello to Howie Lindsay of the CardinalSports.com fame. And Howie, usually a Final Four run is enough to get top billing, but
sure,
Louisville did get kind of inched out by the national champs.
Absolutely. What a tremendous team this Kentucky team was. And I could say that it's a win-win because I also invested in Velcro, but I'm not going to go there. No, but it is a tremendous win for Kentucky. And you know, I'll take the tact of Rick Pitino, where he embraced John Calipari at the end of that game and said, bring it home to our state. And that's exactly what it is. This is the prime state for college basketball. I don't care what Indiana says, what North Carolina says. This is the home of college basketball, and we just proved it.
Yeah, and this year we'll actually claim Indiana as a part of our connection here because they were part of the tournament as well, at least part of our coverage of it. Okay, we're going to be talking about Celebrate with an 8, and Daryl will have something on that coming up here in just a couple of minutes as we get into our lightning round. The lightning round on the Red and Blue Review is brought to you by the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety, and we're really stressing distracted driving. Don't do it. One text or call could wreck it all. Kentucky Office of Highway Safety. Well, who's hot for the University of Kentucky is the coach, John Calipari. He did not win a national championship at UMass, nor did he at Memphis, though he did get close, and it took him only 3 years, as Daryl said, to climb the top of the college basketball mountain once he got in Lexington.
I told my wife, I'm glad it's done. Now I can get about my business of coaching basketball and getting these players to be the best that they can be and helping young people, you know, create better lives for themselves and their families, and also help them prepare for life after basketball. I can get on with that. Now I don't have to hear the drama. I just coach now. I don't have to worry. If you want to know the truth, it's almost like done. Let me move on.
I've never seen a coach work so hard to convince people that it did not matter to him if he won the title. That would say otherwise right there. But he did two things about it. I was at an angle after the game to watch him hug his wife and kids and in-laws and his dad. It meant a lot.
Yep.
You would never come out and brag about it. He also made an interesting point I thought was true. When he was younger, yeah, it probably would have meant a ton to him. But as he's gotten older, he realizes that it's more about the people around you than it is look at me, look at me. And so in that regard, I can understand that it probably means more to him quietly years later than it would have early on when you would have been all about me instead of all about the people around you.
You can't imagine how often these guys talk on the AAU trail, and all the coaches are together and all that kind of thing. You can't imagine how many people told him that this wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And so from that standpoint, it's got to be pretty gratifying for him, because probably every coach he talked to on every summer circuit was like, you're going to take freshmen every year and try to win a title. It's never going to work. So from that fist pump was all about, ha, told you.
It's also game over in recruiting.
Not
only do I recruit the best, I win a title with the best. What kid out there is going to go anywhere else? Why would you go to any other school if you're in a situation like that?
Yeah, if you got a chance to go to the pros after 1 year and get a national championship to boot, that's a pretty good string of business. Well, who else is hot for the University of Kentucky is Mitch Barnhart. Now, not only is this the first national championship for Cal, it's the first national championship for his coach, AD, Mitch Barnhart.
We've been at Kentucky 10 years, and when you come to Kentucky, people tell you this is what it's supposed to feel like, and to be honest with you, it's sort of surreal. I thought there'd be not a different flood of emotions, but it's all happening pretty fast, and the Final Four is a blur anyway. It's such a fast deal. The week just goes by, and it's. But I'm happy for my family. They've journeyed this thing with me. I've got an amazing wife that been incredibly supportive, and she's gone all over the country in this business, and great kids, and to share that with them right now is really special.
You have to feel really good for mentioning this, and even at the celebration later, he teared up again trying to talk about it. He's taken a lot of heat over. He took some heat over hiring Calipari in the first place. He's taken a lot of heat over the coaches that he didn't fire, the Rich Brookses, the Gary Henderson, who had the #1 baseball team. So he's held very firm to his beliefs and what he's grounded in, and he went this route. And he's right, to finally get there and to listen to all the criticism that his head coach has to take, and then the players. That's what really ticks him off. You start making fun of the players for, well, they're just in it to, 1 year of celebration and get on to the pros. That really makes him mad, because he's very, very involved with all the students in every single sport that there is on campus. So I know it means a lot to him to see those kids to get rewarded like that.
Who's not hot for the University of Kentucky after we finish up this championship run is momentum for Kansas. In that championship game, Kansas got close. In fact, they started out with a lead, but they could never steal the momentum from Kentucky once the Cats grabbed it.
It was shifting. It was us, then them, us, then them. It was a game of runs, and we just had to make stops at the end, and that's what we did.
What were they doing in the second half that was, eliminating you guys from inside?
They were just playing a little physical, doubling down when we dribbled, and it was just making it a little tougher on us.
I think they just let Kansas back in it to give the fan base heart failure. Because Louisville stayed with them. Baylor, they didn't play that well in the second half against Baylor. Indiana battled them, tooth and nail the entire 40 minutes. But how many times have we seen it this year that Kentucky gets the lead, teams make a comeback, the wheels get a little wobbly, and then they just, on like 2 possessions, game over, everything's back the way it should be. You say, okay, yeah, 5 seniors could pull that off. Yeah. No way you can pull that off with 3 freshmen, 2 sophomores in your starting lineup, but they did over and over and over again. The team played so far beyond its years. It was amazing.
And when you think of this Kentucky team and what they did to Kansas, it's almost the exact same that they did to Louisville, too.
Right.
I mean, Kansas got down a little further, but, Louisville made that big run to come back. Kentucky just turned it on. And that just shows the talent on this team. I mean, they are extremely, extremely talented.
And the thing I noticed, guys, and I had the privilege of sitting behind the Louisville bench in that game and then behind the Kentucky bench in the championship game, I never saw the Kentucky kids panic. It's just not in their makeup.
The entire year they did not panic. And you kept watching for it. And even the games that they lost, they never freaked out about it. They just weren't hitting shots at Vandy, so they lost. Lost on a buzzer beater at Indiana, so they were in that one the entire way. But they did not panic. You couldn't ruffle them. It was really an amazing team personality.
One of the buzzes coming out of this national championship game is the fact that Anthony Davis won the most outstanding player award with the fewest points ever scored by an eventual mop. He only had 6 points. But boy, he did it, and Terrence Jones says he earned it with defense.
Best parts of his game is defense, and he can do that without having the ball. So, I mean, it's just great having him on defense for us, and he just helped us out big tonight.
It's not hard to take a back seat, especially when you're playing with a great group of guys. All these guys can play. So I knew I was struggling, so I told them, I'm just going to defend and rebound, and y'all make all the points. So that's what they did tonight.
Yeah, 2 things on that. One, I was really hoping for the world's first triple-double that did not involve points scored. I wanted to see rebounds, assists, and blocks, but that didn't get my way. The other thing is it provided a funny moment during the press conference because Cal said he talked to Davis at halftime. He said, no, you're struggling. I think he had 1 point. He said, don't worry about it. Let the game come to you. If you don't score another point, so what? Start the second half, he said, I think he took the first 3 shots. And Davis said, I was open, coach. And Cal said, yeah, you were open. You were 1 of 10. Of course you were open. It was pretty funny. Little exchange between coach and player there. But it was so clear, and you're talking on press row, that as it's going along, it's like he was so dominant. And a perfect ending to the game for the guy from Kansas going up for the 3-pointer to potentially get it really tight. And Davis jumps so high, the guy just pulls it down and walks, says, I'm done. Yeah. We're out of here.
Yep.
Perfect ending.
My favorite quote was Thomas Robinson before that championship game saying, well, they bleed like we do, like we bleed.
Yep.
And my point would be, when he bleeds, it's fluorescent green and it eats holes in the court. He's an alien.
Yeah.
Well, one of the other buzzes coming out of that championship game was the fact that Deron Lamb scored the most points of any Wildcat, 22, and also had the biggest points of those back-to-back threes that really turned back the charge of Kansas, and Cal says he saw it coming.
At the shoot-around, when I watched him, I said he'd get 30 tonight. didn't I? So I'm a little disappointed he only got 22. But he had 25? I thought he said 22. I said 25? Okay, I exaggerated there. I said 25. But he is as good a guard when his motor is moving as any guard in the country. He can play multiple positions. He shoots it. He makes free throws. He's good with the ball. He's crafty. His shoot-around today, I knew he'd have a big game. I knew it.
Just like Coach said, I had a great shoot-around. He told me I have 25 today, but I had 22, and it feels great. My sophomore year, went to the championship. My freshman year, went to the Final Four, so you can't get no better than that.
Now, they had an inside advantage. They saw the shoot-around, so they anticipated it was going to be Deron Lamb who was going to go off. But for the rest of us who followed this team all year, when it got really tight, we're looking around at each other. Okay, is it going to be Lamb? Is it going to be Miller? It could be Teague. He's hot. That was what made this team impossible to beat. You had no idea who was going to step up and hit a huge shot at the most opportune time when you had to have a basket. This game, it was Deron Lamb knocked it down. He has improved his game so much his sophomore year. Very wise decision to come back because he's always been able to shoot. He's developed that little runner in the lane. He drives very hard to the basket and has played outstanding both games in the Final Four, and last year's Final Four loss to Connecticut. He was outstanding.
Lamb and Jones, two of the guys who decided to come back. A lot of us thought perhaps both of them were gone, but Darryl, as you look back now to a full year has wrapped around since those kids decided to come back. Could they have done it with one of those guys not returning, or did it have to be both Jones and Lamb? They needed both of those pieces to win this championship.
I would say both, because you look at it, if you take away one, you take away Terrence Jones, who's your brute force in the middle? You don't have it, so no, you're not winning. You take away Lamb, possibly, but that puts Wilcher into the lineup much more than what he played this year, and he just wasn't physically quite ready to be that major of a contributor. So no, they don't win it if both guys don't come back. No.
Wow, big decisions that will have lasting effects on Kentucky fans for years to come. This part of our coverage of the Red and Blue Review, as we look back on Kentucky's national championship, is brought to you by Crystal Link. You are an expert in your business. Crystal Link is an expert in web and technologies. You do not need an in-house IT person if you link up with Crystal Link. You can reach those guys 502-583-9907. When we come back, we'll tell you why the Cats and the Cards were both so hard to beat this year. As we head to the break, Darryl's going to tell us about how Cat fans can really celebrate with an 8.
Celebrate with an 8. The reason I'm doing this show through Bloodshot Eyeballs today is because we are feverishly finishing up a 128-page book celebrating the season. We call it Celebrate. Hundreds and hundreds of photographs throughout. We cover every single game of the season, all 40 of them. Celebrate 8. Website below, you can pre-order. We've had several thousand already. Magazine.catspaws.com. Just pick the number you would like. They start shipping April 15th.
Allstate Ford, 7-time recipient of Ford Motor Company's President's Award for Customer Satisfaction, with 13 Ford certified service technicians and a best-in-class parts department. Business or personal, we are the truck experts. Allstate Ford, on the Waterson at Poplar Level Road.
Buying your next VW from Bachman Volkswagen will be a great experience. No games or gimmicks, competitive prices, and a huge inventory make #1 Bachman the place to get your Volkswagen. The all-new 2012 Jetta, an IHS top safety pick, is a great vehicle and fun to drive. Or get the sporty all-new 2012 Volkswagen Beetle. It's back and better than ever. Come to #1 Bachman Volkswagen today to get your new Volkswagen before someone else does.
Bachman makes a difference.
I'm gonna text Allison. Hey, hold up, Matt's calling me. Hey, we got the food and we're on our way right now. Hey, who's coming, bro?
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card is available now. Play 8 great courses for one amazing price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. Hurry, they won't last long.
What Makes a Champion on the Red and Blue Review is brought to you by the Muhammad Ali Center, the home of the champion. And Jeannie Conkey says one of the champ's core values is giving.
Muhammad Ali has said that service to others is the rent you pay here for your room on earth. While Muhammad Ali is widely known for his athletic achievements, it is his giving spirit that truly makes the champion he is. Come learn more at the Ali Center.
Selflessness was part of the core values of this Kentucky basketball team this past year. Mitch Barnhart says because Cal assembled a roster of pretty good kids, that's what made this team the ultimate champions.
Sometimes you just don't know how many chances you get at something like this. So to have an opportunity to play for the national championship in New Orleans and to have a team like we've got with such wonderful kids. I mean, and everybody loses sight of that. We've got a wonderful group of kids, and they're kind, they're unselfish, they're all those things, but they've got an immense talent and a great desire to win, and they wanted to bring this championship home for themselves and for their coach.
Now, Mitch is absolutely right, and you can say, well, that's just the AD talking nice. That team doesn't do what they did this year, that much talent, unless they've got a whole lot going on internally to be willing, as Cal has said 1,000 times over, that your player of the year takes the 4th most shots on the entire roster. That's unselfishness. And how many coaches, and Rick Pitino can, or how he can address this, Rick Pitino even brought it up as well, how many opposing coaches have said at the podium, said, man, I like this team. They just play ball. There's no trash talking. There's no showboating. They just go out and play the game the way it's supposed to be played. That's what you got to love about them.
And you think about this team, I mean, Rick Pitino actually said he didn't root for the first couple of Kentucky teams with Cal there because, frankly, they had some knuckleheads. I mean, DeMarcus Cousins, that kind of thing. And really, you know, you've heard the whole phrase that one bad apple can ruin the bunch. Not when there's another apple named Michael Kidd-Gilchrist or Anthony Davis, and really keeps those other guys in line. And, you know, true to form, I think Terrence Jones has the potential to be a knucklehead. Those guys kind of reeled him in, I think.
Yeah. Time to jump into our Game Time storyline. Some of the topics will cover the never nervous Cats and being number 1 all year long on our Game Time storylines. Well, Kentucky fans may have been sweating out the fact that in the national championship game, the Cats coughed up a good portion of an 18-point lead, but Terrence Jones says he was never nervous about a Kansas comeback.
Well, we just did what we did all year. I mean, we don't really get too rattled about anything. We just try to keep playing our game and know that we'll try to get stops when it comes down to it.
He's absolutely right. And it was just amazing to watch time after time the way this team, why didn't you fold? Why don't you fold? Why don't you crack under pressure and do something really stupid? And they just never did. And coach after coach, opposing coach, I mean, continually gave credit to Darius Miller, the senior, being the steadying force on this team. That when things did get shaky, number 1 right there against Georgia, drained a huge shot for them, and coming off the bench, and everything he did, sacrificing, it's like, well, if he's doing this, then I've got to follow his lead, and it's a great lead to follow. What a story for Darius, the way he closes out his career.
Bill Self said, Darryl, after the Kentucky win on the national championship game, that one of their strategies for beating Kentucky was the hope that these freshmen would splinter under the pressure of a national championship game. Strategy that did not work.
Strategy, but it makes sense that that's what you would try. Why wouldn't you try it? I mean, they lost in the Final Four last year. There's a whole lot going on. Cal's never won one. They start to tighten up a little bit, and instead they come out and run Kansas out of the building the first 18 minutes, purely on talent. Kansas had to be going, oh, are you kidding me? Wow.
Well, this Kentucky team withstood the pressure of being the #1 ranked team in the nation for most of the season. They withstood the pressure of working their way through an undefeated SEC regular season championship, and then also the pressure of being the overall #1 seed for the NCAA tournament. Cat fan Bob Coots says this is one of his all-time favorite UK squads.
This is an amazing moment, and we've been waiting for this for a long time, and it's just, I don't know how much is joy and how much is relief, but this team all year long has been a joy from the day one, from Midnight Madness to winning #8. We've loved every second of the ride and wouldn't change a thing.
UK fan Bob Coots, please tell me his nickname is Cooter. Please tell me that's this game. That's the joy that the Big Blue Nation is feeling, because they love their basketball so much, and to go 14 years, not just 14 years without a title, but to watch the program slide toward the end under Tubby, the recruiting wailed, and then the 2 years under Gillespie, it was just about as low as it could possibly get. And then Calipari comes in, like I said earlier, 3 years ago, with this speech about returning to the mountaintop. It just fired everybody up, and the hope was renewed instantly. Pulled it off in 3 years. That's pretty amazing.
I think had it been 3 years after the '98 title, I think that celebration would be different. You know, and I don't think you'd see that overjoyed response. I mean, the response in New Orleans was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Louisville fans, Kentucky fans. Louisville fans were celebrating because it was just such a surprising thing. Kentucky fans were celebrating because, you know, it was the pinnacle. It was getting back there, and they had a team that could win it all, and did. And there's so much joy down there. It was really palpable.
Yeah, I really felt like the only bunch that left with their heads hanging was Ohio State, because they're the only team that may have underdelivered a little bit in the Final Four. Well, Cal's credentials as a head coach now clearly secured after winning a national championship. It should quiet all those distractors or detractors who say Cal's nothing but a good recruiter.
Kansas is a phenomenal program. I grew up there. I've watched it from childhood. To be able to have John get this national championship. Jay Billis or somebody said golfers are measured by how many majors they get. Great coaches are measured by how many championships they get. And I don't think you could ever diminish how good a coach he was if he didn't win it. But now that he's won it, he has got to be put in that circle of coaches that absolutely can flat out coach.
What are ADs measured by?
I don't know. Surviving.
Guys, I feel the same as I did before the game. I don't feel any different. I'm not going to change who I am. I'm here for these young people, and they know that. You know, I would hope they tell you they play hard because they know they trust me. And what I'm telling them, no, it's in their best interest. And so I don't feel any different. I'm not going to feel any different in the morning. I'm going to go to Mass in the morning. I'm going to be the same guy. I am. I mean, I'm telling you, it's over now, and I can get about my business of coaching young people and not have the drama of all the other stuff.
I honestly thought Calipari did away with the he can't coach knock last year to be able to coach that team to a Final Four. Kind of, to me, put an end to all that nonsense, and then to go out and win the title. And he will continue to deflect it. The embrace he had with his family, I don't know if it means that much to him personally, but the family, the excitement that they had that night, that was pretty cool.
When we come back, we'll tell you how something that's been broken for 14 years got fixed in 40 minutes. As we head to the break, Howie's going to tell us about CardinalSports.com.
This show is all about giving Kentucky its due for winning the title. But if you need a Cardinal cleanse after all this blue, check out CardinalSports.com. We've got basketball, football, everything you need. CardinalSports.com.
Allstate Ford, 7-time recipient of Ford Motor Company's President's Award for Customer Satisfaction, with 13 Ford certified service technicians and a best-in-class parts department. Business or personal, we are the truck experts. Allstate Ford, on the Waterson at Poplar Level Road.
Buying your next VW from Bachman Volkswagen will be a great experience. No games or gimmicks, competitive prices, and a huge inventory make #1 Bachman the place to get your Volkswagen. The all-new 2012 Jetta, an IHS top safety pick, is a great vehicle and fun to drive. Or get the sporty all-new 2012 Volkswagen Beetle. It's back and better than ever. Come to #1 Bachman Volkswagen today to get your new Volkswagen before someone else does.
Bachman makes a difference.
Here we go.
calling me, Matt's calling me. Hey, we got the food and we're on our way right now. Hey, who's coming, bro?
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card is available now. Play 8 great courses for one amazing price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. Hurry, they won't last long.
What needs fixing on the Red and Blue Review? Brought to you by Doug Jones Home Improvements.
The psyche of Kentucky basketball fans needed fixing after 3 straight Final Fours and 2 national championships in the 90s. It took them 14 years to get another glimpse of the top of the college basketball mountain.
It means everything to us to get number 8. We've been waiting so long for this moment. It means so much to our families. We grow up a Big Blue Nation. It's in our blood. We're born into it. It's everything to us. C-A-T-S. Cats, cats, cats!
Not sure I can add anything to that, but it was a joy to watch the UK fan base celebrate this because they live and die with this team.
Cats and Cars, congratulations on a fantastic year. You represented us well in New Orleans and throughout the entire season. Congratulations from the Red and Blue Review.
The Red and Blue Review has been brought to you by PNC Bank, Allstate Ford Truck Sales, and the Muhammad Ali Center.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card featuring Chariot Run, Bardstown Country Club at Maywood, Rosewood Country Club, Indian Springs, Cave Valley Golf Resort, The Falls Golf Resort, The Bull, and Stonecrest Golf Course is available now. Get your golf tour card and play 8 great courses with cart for one low price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. You can play anytime, but you must get your golf tour card now.